For me, basically, you know, there's still that stigma in society around men and speaking for the mental health. It's getting much better than it was even 10, 15 years ago. But I think as a society, we've still got a long way to come. And groups like this are integral to helping men have a safe space, basically, to be able to express their emotions, which I think sometimes for me, I remember when I first came to ManHealth, like stuff that I could open up and share, it was easier doing it in a room full of strangers than it was to be able to do, you know, with family members, you know. I found that really like quite more easy to do that, and it's like there's that analogy that we use sometimes is that you go to the gym to get physically fit, and I use ManHealth to keep mental health in check every week, you know. And without it, I don't really know where I'd be, to be honest with you. I must admit, it's a big part of my life now. I started coming, I'm trying to think now. It's been about 2.5 years since I've been coming, to be honest with you. Initially, I went to the Aycliffe group, the Newton Aycliffe group, and then I found it more at home here. It was just a better fit for me. And then the thing is I got myself into a good place, and I stopped coming. And I think that was collectively the worst decision I could make, because the reason why is I realise now, even when I'm well, I know that's the time when I should be here. I took 6 months off, and then as time goes on and you stop coming to like these groups and everything like that, you find it more difficult to come back. It's like anything in life. And I know eventually, like, I was worried thinking I hadn't seen people for a long time, but then I came back after that break and everyone just welcomed me with open arms, like I'd never been away, you know, and I knew that was the stage where actually, you know what, I know this is going to be something that's going to be more long-term involved in my life. And, you know, like I say, I help a lot of the other lads now and try and be there for them, and I find that gives me good strength to be able to deal with my own issues, because I know that collectively this is a community. You know, it's we all probably from different backgrounds and different areas, but that's irrelevant when we come here. You know, we've got that common goal that we want to make sure everyone's well and all right. And I think that's the humbling part of being here for me, personally, yeah. Yeah, most definitely. You know, most definitely. I think that it doesn't, it's not prejudice, mental health, is it, you know? I think there's a preconception from people where when you think people with mental health problems, I know my own ignorance when I was younger that, you know, it must be people who are like down and out and not got much going on in their lives, but that's far from the truth. You know, there's people from all sorts of intelligent people from all sorts of different walks in lives who come through the door, and it's just, I think the one thing that this group's helped me do is it's helped me gain a greater empathy for not just my own issues going on, but everybody else's. Not to say that like I try and put them above my own, because I don't, but you know, that's the big thing. It gives you a greater understanding, and I think groups like this will help future like generations, because hopefully, you know, us going through that situation will help us, you know, with our children and everything else, to be able to feel like they can open up, you know, because I think for too long in, you know, that like masculinity of trying to say, oh, you know, pull yourself together. Well, when you're in that situation, it's very difficult to do that, isn't it? And that's why, obviously, unfortunately, we've lost certain people, you know. We all know someone who's been affected by suicide, and I think that this is why it's integral, places like this, in my opinion. You know, ManHealth for me, like I say, it's a community. It's not just a Thursday night or a Wednesday night or a Monday night. It's every night, you know. I know that my own personal journey over the last couple of months, I ended up having to go on the sick from work. I'm a nurse in the NHS, and I know, first of all, the first people I told when I was really struggling and I was really at my worst and I was really low was the people in the group. Mostly because they were able to give me that sort of non-judgmental environment to be able to say how I really, really felt. Not that family and everything else for me personally haven't, because they have been very supportive, but that gave me that confidence to be able to open up to people, my loved ones, by going through the people who are come to see on a first night and keep relationships with. And I think it's, whilst doing that, it helps us to do that with everybody else and help other people do that. And I think that's something that's integral. I mean, I don't know what happens in different regions across the country, but, I think we're very, very lucky here in the northeast of England to have so many groups collectively under the ManHealth banner, and, we can go to all them groups. And I always feel when I turn up, I might not have met someone ever, but you always feel welcome. You always feel like you're integral to the community, and you never feel like as if you're an outsider. And it's that feeling of belonging that I think we're all trying to search for in life, that sometimes we find, without being too deep, sometimes we feel like, we go to places and we don't feel fully accepted. I know that I've never had an experience ever when I've come to ManHealth where I've not felt like I can be myself. And I think that's what's so important about it and what's so good about it as well.